how'd you get your deal?
Um, so yeah, Carl, after that, I would bug Carl and I would show up at different events, get myself on camera when the Brett was coming back and forth and they were doing the Canadian angle. So it was kind of a good time, the stars aligning because WWE cameras were around a lot. So I would show up and jump in front of the camera trying to do voices. I got on Raw once doing that when Brett got to the airport. So it was like I was
I remember
gaining
that.
some kind of, I was starting to gain something. And then I was going to Carl all the time and he started finally calling me back and saying, hey, look, we're doing this event, like not paying me, but if you want to show up and do your voices, it'd be like interning and see how you do. So I was going to like the Home Shopping Network and different things that WWE was working on in Canada. Carl would call me for. So I owe a lot to him for getting me the introduction and as much as Owen, he helped get my foot in the door with Vince McMahon. That introduction, that was like basically what got me the job. That Vince was having a bad day and he was being interviewed by Michael Landsberg, who was tearing him apart
Sure.
after the Bret Hart screw job. And they were doing two episodes back to back filming. And Carl called me and told me, this could be your dream come true, Jason. Show up at TSN and I'll introduce you to Vince. So I showed up there, thank goodness to my friend David Glinsman, who gave me the drive. And it was right in, but I watched the segment. So I had met Hunter and China before at the Home Shopping Network. So they were there. So I was now chilling with them. Vince could see that I was chilling with them. So that was putting me over already. Then it's in between the filming of the two segments for TSN for the two episodes. So Vince was like taking breathers. You could see he was like, he didn't realize he would be torn apart so bad. So he was like, oh my gosh. And like Carl DeMarco was like, you want anything, Vince? Can I get you a water? And Vince was like, they're tearing me apart up here. Look at me, man. Like, what the hell am I? They've got me on the cross. Like he's like, they're killing me. And so he was having like a tough moment. And Carl brought me in as comic relief. And it was just the stars aligning. So when I met Vince, it was just like him drinking his water, like, okay, what's this? And Carl was like, this guy does voices. He's like, can you do Shawn Michaels? And I was like, I'm a heartbreak kid, Shawn Michaels. And his eyes just lit up and he started feeding me different guys to do.
Oh wow.
And then it was weird because Carl asked him, can you do a Vince McMahon? And I didn't think I could do it that well. And I was a little nervous about it. Vince says, well, I would love it if you could do a Vince McMahon. So I did my best. I just roared out my best. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. And he's like, we're gonna get you on air, kid. And he kept
Oh
his word.
wow.
I ran out to meet him after and at his limo, and he said, I won't forget you, or something along those lines. So it was a great meeting, and basically Vince kept his word. It was like meeting the head honcho. You can't get any better than that. So if he saw talent in you, then you got an opportunity. He gave me one, and man, I did my best with it. For what I was given, I gave my all.
So much fun. Hey, real quick, did anybody not like your impressions? Like, did anybody say no? You're not allowed to impersonate me. Anybody?
Oh yeah,
Really? See,
oh
I'm
yeah.
shocked because you're just putting them over.
I know, but it's weird to some people. Like even on Cafe de Rene, I don't even think James likes it. I started doing his voice sometimes, and I can see everyone's laughing, but he doesn't look amused. And some people they don't like hearing,
Okay.
but they don't hear it in their own ears that it sounds like them, so they don't see anyway. But yeah, it's funny because it's a good segue because it was the story I was telling in the beginning with Vince. I forgot to tell this ending I was trying to get to. You just reminded me. So one day I'm backstage. It was the beginning of my hurrah. So all the boys are getting to get to know me. And they're hearing about me, and boys are talking to each other about me. I'm like this class clown now for the boys, and this court jester that's been hired to make people laugh. And they've all of a sudden circled me backstage, circled around me backstage, and they're all getting me to do voices of each other. Do him, do him. I'm just doing like voice after voice of all the wrestlers. Double J, just all these guys, Vader, everyone. And then I don't realize Vince is walking by to see this commotion of what this group meeting is backstage. And right around the time he just gets to the circle, Vince, I think it was Ron Simmons, yeah. So he's like, "You gotta do Vince McMahon. You gotta do, you gotta do a Vince McMahon." So I see Vince coming, so I'm getting geared up to do this, the big one he wanted. Like he said, I would love if you could do a Vince McMahon. And Vince walks right into the circle and he's like, "Don't do it." And so I stopped and he's like, "Don't ever do it. Don't ever do my voice for that." Okay, okay, sir. And I never did. I even
Wow.
I even couldn't do Vince's voice because I was so afraid because he came up to me and told me not to do it now. So I'm like, oh, I thought like I got the job because I could do your voice. But anyway, and I couldn't even work on his voice because I was so afraid. I learned to do Vince years after. I was
What
working
was up
for
with that, you think?
I don't know. I
You think
just
you think he didn't want to be the butt of his jokes in front of
yeah,
his employees?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like keep my respect around the boys.
Talk to me about Cameo.
Cameo. Oh yeah, Cameo. So yeah, if you can find me on Cameo at Jason Sensation X, and yeah, if you want a greeting or a message, an impression, birthday greeting, want a little put together a little segment you want to create between wrestlers just for entertainment, or even if you want, which some people like, is to get their answering machine greeting done in a wrestler of your choice or any celebrity impression I can do of your choice, hit me with it on Cameo at Jason Sensation X. Thank you very much.